pleasure to have everybody here today. Thanks to the media for coming. Mike Bevan from the Beacon Journal. Karen, the photographer, of course, is here as well. And our good friend Peter for APS 15, which will show Media Day on a tape-delayed basis at some time. We'll let you all know when that is so you can see yourselves on TV. Without further ado, let's bring up Mr. Vassilotti for a couple comments.
Mr. Linger's very humble. He's a tremendous help in the athletic office, and I'm very grateful to work with him and Sherry down there. We have a lot of great help, and we want to thank AEA again for hosting us today. It's always a fantastic event, and we're very grateful for your help and support. And we're looking forward to football season. We have some media members here today. Mr. Bevan from the Beacon Journal. Oh, there's Sherry. She's still here in the back, so everyone knows Sherry. Yes, there's the heart and soul of the athletic operation right there. She did a great job putting together the programs today and everything that she does. We really appreciate her. We want to thank too, most of all, our the guys in front of me. Really, you know, the coaches and players for making this happen. All the hard work you put in, and that's why we're here. We're very grateful for what you do, and we try to help you and support you do what you do, so you don't have to worry about stuff, hopefully like helmets and shoulder pads and all that. That's these days it's hard to come by because of supply chains, but all that stuff we try to take off the worry of the coaches too much. I want to thank those of you who participated yesterday with the city of Akron in the event with the rubber ducks. I know Coach Buckley at East, working with the city now, helped put that together and coordinate it with the mayor's office. And thank the coaches for buying into that and being participants and coming together like that. I've heard good things of how that went down. I'm sorry I had to miss it. We had a meeting with our other fall coaches yesterday at that time. Also, I want to mention Coach Boyd from Garfield is actually meeting with the city right now about our leadership symposiums that we do. Some of you might have been a part of those, where we involve all student athletes, and he's working with them on our locker room initiative. So he sends his regrets today, but Coach Bradford's here in his stead, and he'll do a great job. So we're going to get you eating here soon. Enough of me talking. I do want to introduce Pat Shipe, President of Aea, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vassilotti. I also wanted to acknowledge Michael Leon Adams, who is behind the counter there, and Christina Pinkerton, who's up front. They shoulder I should say all of the work in putting this on, and we really appreciate what they do. At all these sports media days, which it's our pleasure to host them, Mr. Vassilotti usually gets up and thanks AEA, and I'll get up and say, we appreciate you being here, and let's eat. But this year feels a little different, so I wanted to say a few things directly to the athletes and the coaches in the room. And I actually, if you'll indulge me, I wrote something down because I didn't want to forget what I wanted to say today. So over the past school year, and certainly the last several months, Akron Public Schools and the Akron community at large have experienced the tragic loss of far, far too many young men and women. Either through violence or accidents, the impact on our community has been devastating. And the recent heartbreaking loss of Shipe Pope is just another reminder of how precious life is and how overwhelmingly terrible these losses are. And that's why I wanted today to take this moment to let you know how important each and every one of you are. Not just in the role of student athlete, but in your roles as young leaders in both our schools and within the Akron community. More than ever, your generation has the greatest opportunity to influence real positive change on today's society. Every time you walk onto the football field, walk through the hallways in your schools, or involve yourself in the Akron community, maybe without knowing it, you inspire everybody. Some of you may not want that responsibility placed on your shoulders, but whether you realize it or not, you carry it well. And far too often, you are not acknowledged for the great things that you do, but rather are admonished when you may falter from time to time, which everybody does, falter from time to time. So I want to make sure that you leave here today, each and every one of you, and know that there is a whole adult community that is incredibly proud of the work that you do every day, the dedication you put into both your football team and your academic team, and the leadership example you inspire in your peers. So instead of thanking AEA for hosting this luncheon today, I want to thank all of you and all of your coaches for the incredibly important role you play, allowing us to realize all the wonderful things our young leaders achieve every day, and how all of those achievements can be examples to all of us and teach us how we should walk through life. So thank you very much for being here, and congratulations for being the young leaders that you are. We're very proud of you. Thank you.
Well, that was extremely well said. Thank you very much, Pat, and I echo every word. And I was going to save this for later, but I might as well throw it out there now. With the adversity of the last week, the tragic adversity faced by the Ellett football family, it's the darkest of clouds that can hang over a group of, in this case, young men and coaches and their parents. But honestly, from my perspective, from Mr. Linger's perspective, from Mrs. Kearns, the school principal's perspective, the response of the team and coaches has been amazing to watch, incredible, and kind of awe-inspiring for the way you've come together and supported one another. And we'll continue to do so, I'm sure. So thank you for that. It's been a pleasure to work with you in that aspect of this tragedy. But and it reminds me too of the value. I told our other fall coaches this yesterday, the value of high school sports and team sports, youth sports. Because I think once you get college level, it's great, but it gets to be more like a business. And of course, in professional sports, it is a business. But man, it's something about youth sports and high school sports where you guys come together with a common goal, and you become like a family. You don't always agree with one another, but you try to fight through it. You try to work through it. And I'm partial to football. I mean, I don't think there's a greater team sport than football, where you have so many guys competing at the same time, 11 guys out there trying to make something positive happen simultaneously, and all the different roles in the game. And, you know, I always think the most important people on the field in football rarely touch the ball, if ever, and those are the linemen, the big boys up front, you know. So how selfless do you have to be to be up there and not get the glory or touch the ball and do your thing on the line to make it happen for your team? But I just want to commend you guys for choosing football and putting your hearts and souls into it, and really look forward to watching you do your thing this year. So I was going to save that for later, but thank you again, Ms. Shipe, for your words. Very, very appropriate.
Say let's eat?
Very appropriate, very fitting, and I know you're hungry, so let's eat. Just coaches, so you can mentally prepare. When we do our presentations later, we'll go by coaching seniority. So Coach Hayes from East will be our leadoff hitter, and we'll go down the line from there. Well, everybody, let's get started here. At the end, you know, I'll remind you, do some work on these cookies and maybe some fruit too to balance it off. There will be a lot of leftovers. Oh, speaking of that too, I had to run home right before I got here, and my neighbor, her granddaughter, was having a bake sale, so I felt like I had to stop. So I have a couple items here, since we're in dessert mode now. So for the players only, a couple questions for you. And hand in the air, get the right answer, you get your choice, either a cookie or a brownie. So we talked about Mr. Linger earlier in the athletic office, all he does. He was also one of those linemen that are so important to everyone's success on a football team. One of those selfless linemen, but actually he got to touch the ball every play, playing center. But here's the question to you: for your choice of a cookie or brownie, players only, hand in the air if you know. Tell me the school he attended, the Akron City Series school he attended, that also won the league championship his senior year, I believe. Is that correct? Yes? Well, there you go. All right. Which school was it? Ronan, yeah, you're the man. All right, come on up. Now you get either the brownie or the cookie. He went to East. He wasn't a dragon, but he went to East. All right, hey, next. Anyone hand in the air get this? Coach Mitchell here to my left. Also APS grad, tremendous football player for one of our schools. Which school did Coach Mitchell attend and graduate? A school that is still here in existence. So, it wasn't South. I know he's a little old. It wasn't West. It wasn't Central. It wasn't Howard. Garfield, right. He was a Golden Ram. Good one, man. Nice job. It looks like a good cookie. What's your name? Carlos. Good job. And now we begin. So as I said, each head coach will come up and speak for a few minutes about his team, prospects for the season ahead, and so forth. So entering his 11th season, has seniority. The dean of football coaches here in the city is Coach Marcus Hayes at East. To lead us off, come on up, Coach.
Again, this is another year, so this is year 11 for me and a lot of my staff. Today I decided to we got two of our seniors. We have Antonio Sandal Bascom. On my left, we have Ronan Kelly. And sometimes you think about who are you going to bring to these events, so you're looking and saying, okay, well, who has the best grades, who has, all of the character, who has this and that. And not saying that these guys don't have that, but sometimes when I looked at it this year, I wanted to bring up the guys that I thought signified growth. And Antonio and Ronan definitely signified growth. Coming from where their grades were to where they are right now, and then what can be in store for them. I think both of these young men will have a story to tell, and I'll be here for it, for all of it. Definitely love these guys, man. I love the work ethic and things that they've been doing. Both of them are going to be, this is their third year starting varsity football, so they're definitely vets in this game. There's a lot in store for this season that I tell our team that I hope they go out there and grab it. But we all know that it does not matter how much talent you have on your team. You can go out there on any given game and you can be beat. So again, you got to prepare yourselves, and that's what we're trying to do right here. Very proud to be a part of this city series, and again, welcoming the new coaches to the city series, head coaches with Coach Miller and Coach Fazik. Again, condolences to Coach Fazik and the Ella community and the team. We're definitely praying for you all, and just continued routine for you guys. We're excited for this season. Very excited for this season. We know we have to get off on a better foot than we did last year. We dropped our first 5 games, then we stormed back, winning our last 5 games to snatch the last playoff spot, only to go against the number 1 seed Chardon, and I thought we gave them one heck of a run for the first half. So when we saw them in a 7-on-7 this past summer, we told them we would love to see them again, and I know these guys would love to see them again also. So again, we're proud to be a part of this city series. We're going to stand up for our league, and we can't wait to get into these league games and give you guys the best that we have to give you. And hopefully you guys will do the same. All right, thank you.
As I mentioned, Coach Boyd can't be here today from Garfield. Now, Coach Boyd's entering his 9th year as a head coach with us, 3 at Kenmore and then the last 5 at Kenmore-Garfield. Of course, this year, the new Garfield CLC opens, so the Garfield Golden Rams today represented by longtime assistant coach Bradford. Come on up, Coach, with your players.
How you doing? I'm Coach Elliot Bradford. I'm the defense coordinator for Garfield High School. I enter my 9th year at Kenmore-Garfield. Garfield now. Excited to be back in Garfield. Excited to come back in our new building. Getting prepped for that. 2 seniors I got with me today. On my left is Drew Terry. He's transferring in from Barberton. Has been a breath of fresh air, provide some more senior leadership for us. We did lose probably about 10 or 11 seniors last year that played some key snaps for us last year. Expecting him to do some big things for us on offense and defense. And to my right, I got Klinsman Kojo. He's been with us for 4 years. This guy has been, as Coach Hayes says, you see guys grow when they first walk in your program. His dedication, the weight room, just being able to be coached, taking constructive criticism, what he needs to do to get better. Definitely an honor roll level student, so we're having no worries about that. So these are the 2 guys that are coming to represent us. Hopefully they'll be able to continue that and show us give us some much needed leadership this year. When I came in here last year, the room has definitely changed from when I was here last year. Coach Miller came from our staff last year, so congratulations to you. Coach Fazik from Elliott, condolences to you and your community on the loss of your young man. I think same situation comes in for all of us, trying to keep these young men safe, trying to give them guidance as, things in their city are taking place. So we're definitely trying to pour into these young men on, how to carry themselves as usual, but just making sure that you're in the right place and you're not somewhere that you're not supposed to be. Well, as far as our outlook on this season, last season was, could have been pretty good for us. We lost a few games, lost to Firestone at the end, which, they ended up going to the playoffs, and we got to sit there and watch them, so congratulations to Coach Mitchell and his staff on that. This year we're very sophomore and freshman heavy, so we got a lot of talent, I believe, but we just have some that it hasn't been tested. It hasn't been put in a varsity game yet, so I'm excited to see what these young guys can do and how they can help us during this season. So, we don't have an easy schedule, and it probably shouldn't be that way, but as a staff and representing us here, we're looking forward to that challenge, though. So that's all I got. All right, thank you.
Thank you for being here today, Coach Bradford. Appreciate it. Next, we talked about Coach Mitchell earlier, Golden Ram alum, entering his 8th season now with Firestone as head football coach. And he had to put up with me way back when for 1 year, coaching with him. But Firestone's in good hands, and Coach, it's your turn. Come on up with your guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have with me 2 seniors, Carlos Humphrey, senior linebacker, running back, senior Kamani Jones, offensive line, defensive line. First of all, I also want to congratulate North for their new hire, Elliott for their new hire. We also want to offer our condolences to Elliott and the tragic incident that happened with their young player. And as you all know, in our family, we experienced some tragedy at the end of the school year as well. And for our kids, it was a very traumatic experience, but it's something that, hopefully our young people, not just at Firestone, but across the city and across Ohio and the country, can learn from how to communicate effectively, stop resorting to violence as your only solution to your issues or your problems. We have to become better, effective communicators. You'll see on the back of our helmets this year, in honor of Ethan, we'll be wearing the 12 Memorial sticker, and also the TF sticker in honor of Coach Tim Flossie, who was also the head football coach at Firestone. I know he has some other stops in the city as well, Bookto, Central Howard, but I believe his last head coaching position was at Firestone. And we have a couple guys on our staff that Coach Flossie coached, so we want to honor him as well, and keep him in our thoughts, keep the Flossie family in our thoughts and prayers as well. There's just a lot going on, and for coaches and for players, the one thing that you'll learn is that you'll learn how to handle adversity, and you'll push through it, and you'll understand that there's a other side to that adversity. Whatever it is that you're going through at the beginning, it doesn't last forever. Just stay the course, push through it, and you'll see the other side. And most of the time, the other side, there's bright shining lights for you. As far as our season goes, we're excited for this opportunity this year to play. We have 12 seniors on the squad, but we're heavy, sophomore, junior heavy. But the guys got a taste of it last year, playing in week 11, so they're excited about trying to reach that goal again and get to week 11. But it's one game at a time for us. There's no looking forward, and right now our focus is on Kent, and we have to take care of Kent Roosevelt before we can take care of and look at anybody else on our schedule. We look forward to playing each and every team in this room. Hopefully you guys are able to stay healthy throughout the season, so when we do get a chance to play, we'll bring our best. I know you guys are going to bring your best, and at the end, everybody can shake hands and look at each other in the eyes and respect each other for the players that they are, but more importantly for the people that they are. You're going to encounter so many of these young men outside of football, and it's imperative that we represent, as a young man said yesterday at the mayor's event, that we represent Akron wherever we go. We represent Akron. So yeah, that Friday night or that Thursday night or that Saturday afternoon that we play you, yeah, you representing the name on your jersey. But after that, you represent Akron. Stay together, stick together as young people. All right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach, for those words. Want to announce here, because a lot of people have been asking me, in case you haven't heard yet and you're thinking about going, the services for Coach Flossie are tomorrow. Funeral service at 4 p.m. at Guy's Party Center, and then the calling hours are immediately after, I think from 5 to 10 p.m. Is that correct? Yeah, so just want to throw that out there. I certainly enjoyed getting to know Coach Flossie, and I'll never forget when we competed, our teams competed against one another, pregame coaches talk, right? He would always finish by saying, let me know what I could ever do for you. Let me know how I can ever help you. I'll always remember that. So thanks, Coach, for your words. Next, speaking of Coach Flossie, a couple state titles at Bookdale on his resume. So from Bookdale is Coach Williams next. And Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, your father played for Coach Flossie.
You did.
Correct? Yeah, that's awesome. So your turn, Coach, in his second year at his alma mater with the Griffs, Coach Brian Williams.
What's up, fellas? Crazy. You go from 11 to 9 to 8, then you come to 2. So, if y'all don't know, man, I do pay attention to you vet coaches. Even from last year, to start off, Coach Doug, Coach Fezzik, man. I see you guys looking around. I was the same way last year. Just panning around the room, feeding off their energy. Changing up my words, what I was going to say prior to what I had written down. But now I get the luxury of going before you guys, so I already got what I got to say. It's y'all turn, but welcome, Coach. Again, with everything, I can only imagine, and, often people say that they'd be there for you, but you have the Bookdale community. You have our Bookdale program, and whatever you need, we're one phone call, we're one text away. All right. The two guys that I brought with me today, two seniors, Marcel Boyce Jr., Tanel Edwards, and I feel as though like what we talk about with our young men, leadership is an underused word. These guys a few years ago, they could have bounced on me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know me from a can of paint. They could have went off somewhere else. And finished their career. They decided to stay with me. All league honors last year, Tanel all district. But the most important, man, these guys were all academic. Marcel finished up with a 4.0 this last grading period. Tanel finished up with a 3.8. But the vocal leaders these guys are, all right? And the example they set for our young guys, because we was fairly young last year. It speaks volumes throughout the whole building and on the field, which it translates to we sit here often and talk about what we got going on in our community. And last year was probably one of the biggest reasons why I accepted this job. For those that don't know, I was down the street at St. Vincent St. Mary the last 6 years, and I just was seeing from a distance how our young men and women were struggling in our communities. And my biggest thing that I wanted to make sure that I do is get in our community, get back into the West Side community, do these outreach programs, get our kids to the positive side of our community. I think that we're lacking that a lot, and it shows. Everything that has happened in the last few years has been crazy. You can't even put words to explain what's been going on in our little town, which is in the headlock right now. And again, I don't want to go off on a different tangent. We're here to talk about our programs, but let's also look at reality and what's really going on in our world. And these guys move the mountains for us. So again, with everything that we have right now, let's cherish it. You never know. That could be your last down, your last day, your last conversation with the young men that we have, or even the coaches. I had a close friend of mine lose his brother, who was a coach at another school, and it was devastating. I didn't even know how to even put that into words. I didn't even know how to console him when things happen like that. So again, fellas, take it all in. All right, you only get 4 years of high school. That's it. If you're blessed enough, you get to go to college. All right, and if you're blessed enough after college, you may want to play in the pros if that happens. So just wanted to give you guys that little piece. But as far as our season, like I was saying, phase one, coming in last year, it wasn't nothing like this year at all. Last year, got in there a little late. My only mindset was to build a strong strength program and build a rapport with my guys. As the season progressed, we went as the season went. It was good days, it was bad days, then we had incredible days. We finished the season 3-0, and we want to continue that going into North Canton. Phase two, we had a real off season. Instead of starting in May, we was getting after it in December. You know, y'all know what that look like, getting in the weight room, all right? Getting out in the community, doing all the necessary things that we need to do to be a strong program, all right? And now we're here talking to you guys, all right? So league play, I'm going to go off Coach Mitchell. We waiting for North Canton, all right? League play, we can't wait to get in front of you guys and compete, then shake hands after, all right? But right now, we got North Canton Hoover are in our radar, and that's what we're going against. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for accepting me, Coach Linger, Coach Vazzalotti. They ain't been nothing but great to me. Even Miss Sherry, thank you for taking up my emails and my phone calls. I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait till the season.
Thanks, Coach. We're looking forward to seeing that turf installed, hopefully soon as well. Booked certainly very thankful to the Cleveland Browns for that gift. Next, we are left with two first-year coaches here in the city. We're going to go with Coach Fasig and Ellett because he has kind of done this before in a different league when he was called to duty by his former head coach. That's Coach Gatto for you. So Coach Fasig has been a longtime assistant at Barberton, where he teaches, and now the head coach at Ellett. So Coach Fasig.
All right. I will admit I wrote some stuff down. So, good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, Coach Fasig, and you know, obviously, I am honored to be standing in front of all of you guys. You know, talking about the prospects of the season. Obviously, I want to start out by just saying, you know, thanks to Akron Education Association for hosting, and obviously, thank you to Joe and Ron and Sherry for everything they do in the athletic department. You know, obviously it's been a rough week for us. It's something that you know, I've told the kids. I said there's no playbook for going through the things that, you know, obviously we as a program have gone through. But I can't stress enough the amount of support that we've gotten from outside. You know, I've gotten text messages and phone calls from everybody here offering support and saying such fantastic things, and I can't be more appreciative of that support. I also have to say that the Ellett community, the administration over there with Michelle and Missy, they've been outstanding for our young people, and I can't thank all of you enough. I was already honored to be a part of this, and I'm further honored to be a part of it. I also, you know, want to mention to condolences to the Flossie family. Jake Flossie is our he plays quarterback for us, and it was his grandfather, and they were very close. So you know, certainly a giant in this community, and somebody that you know, he's emblematic of what Akron high school football is. So my condolences to them as well. Getting into the two guys standing behind me today, we have Tim Peak here, who plays secondary, as well as some receiver for us, and then Ramon McAndrews plays offensive line and defensive line for us. Two seniors in a program that, you know, was 2-7 a year ago. I can't stress enough how hungry this group of guys has been since I got there. I mean, hungry is the one word I keep telling people. They just want to get after it. We've had really incredible numbers from a weightlifting perspective. These guys have really bought in to what we're trying to sell over there, and I couldn't be more proud of them. These two guys, being seniors, have been kind of taking up the mantle of leadership as since we've gotten there. So really proud of them for that. Obviously, getting the job in, I think it was late March. You know, we put together a staff of guys that I really do genuinely think are fantastic coaches. You know, putting all together those pieces is obviously going to be a challenge in the first year, but I do think it's certainly something that we'll do, and we'll do well. You know, and getting into that off season, I really do think that you know, any success that we have is going to be based on those few months that we got as an opportunity to be together. We start out from a schedule perspective. You guys have talked about week 1, and we've been saying the same thing. We've got green week 1, had an outstanding year a year ago, and a great opportunity for us to show kind of the work that we've put in. We then go to Talmadge, who I think is going to be outstanding as well. So I really think that I'm excited about that, and the city's going to be fantastic. I think every team sitting in front of us is going to be incredibly competitive and work their tails off, and I'm excited just to be able to compete as a part of it. So yeah, I really do. I'm excited about all of that, and again, honored for this opportunity, and thank you a ton for all of your support. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. As I alluded to earlier, Coach Miller being his first year at North, we certainly one of our very significant losses in the last years was Coach Haslam, tragically last November, as a former head coach at North, and Coach Miller was brought in and brought a lot of excitement and experience in the city, having been an assistant coach with Kenmore-Garfield and having taught there, and I know he's looking forward to teaching at North this year in addition to coaching there, which is awesome. So in his first year with the North Vikings, Coach Doug Miller.
Ugh. I mean, I'm terrible at this, but we'll see how this goes, guys. So I think, everything that I've experienced here in the city to this point, and especially this last year, kind of the common theme, sadly, it's not, the celebration we want it to be, but it's a lot of the loss that we've all experienced. And the reason I'm here is part of that loss, with the loss of Coach Has. I first just want to say, I'm not here to replace Coach Has. And I asked the media, please don't compare me to Coach Has, because what he did in the years that he spent here leaps and bounds of where I am. It's where I want to go. It's where I want to get. But, obviously I don't look that athletic right now. I can't jump that far. So big shoes to fill in that aspect. The best I can do right now is try and continue on what Coach has started here at North. I kind of watched from afar, being at Kenmore-Garfield the last 3 years, and saw them get more and more competitive, I felt, each year, and real good things happen in there, which, when I was encouraged to apply for the position, I was excited about, knowing that Coach had built a real good foundation, and coming into the program, seeing that I was walking into a real good situation has just been a huge blessing. And on that, I just want to talk about how we're going to try and continue on his vision of making North a lot more competitive, being a lot more competitive in not only our non-conference games, but our league games. As far as everybody said, like right now we're focused on Collinwood. You got to start somewhere, baby steps. Let's get that first game under our wings. Let's get that first win. It's our first, from what I'm told, it's our first opening home game, even though it's at Elliott, for North in North's history. So that's exciting and frightening. So let's get that through. And the guys I brought with me on my right, Zaville Thomas, and on my left, Elijah Garvins. I brought them a lot because not only have they been amazing leaders since I've shown up and been supportive of everything we've been trying to do, and they haven't missed lifting. Elijah's a 3-sport athlete, but he was still making it to lifting somehow for a lot of those lifts and workouts. But they kind of show that bright future we have at North, as they're both young. A sophomore and he's a junior, but we are extremely young this year. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. I think we've only got about 2 seniors coming back right now. Unlike me, we are very small as a team. We have about 20, 25 guys coming in consistently. And but sometimes real special things come in small packages. So I'm hoping this year, we're competitive, man. I want to see us competitive. I want to see us fight and be in games, and I'm excited to see you guys when it comes time to league play. All right, Elliott, and the rest of the city, man, we've all experienced tragedies, and we're always here. If anybody ever needs anything, if anybody ever needs an advice when it comes to stuff in the city, since I've been teaching in the city for a while, anybody that's new, give me a call. Let me know if I can help you out. I will. All right, guys.
So we've heard from everybody. A couple common themes today as I was listening. Number one, the togetherness. A lot of coaches hit on the fact that we're all part of the Akron City Series. And yeah, we want to compete like heck starting week 6 against one another and compete for a league championship and hopefully see a few of our teams make the playoffs. But do that in a sportsmanlike way and respect one another. Hit them hard and play your best. Whoever wins, wins. But take pride in your league. Take a lot of pride in it and the good that this game can bring you. And with non-league coming up, those 5 weeks, get after it. Get after it. I know the playoffs are expanded and everything, and more teams get in now than ever have, but those non-league games are worth a lot if you have aspirations of Week 11. And heck, speaking of pride in the city, let's go beat teams like Greene and Talmadge and, Dover. You got Dover on the schedule again, Coach? Yes. Yeah. Let's get one down there. And whoever you're playing. Look forward to North hosting a game at Ellett. That's going to be fun against Collinwood. So, and the other thing, along with City Series pride, a lot of coaches hit upon the value of this game and teaching overcoming bad stuff, overcoming adversity. Because bad stuff's going to happen. It's going to happen in the game. It's going to happen in life. You're going to have a day when you don't feel like practicing. You're a little banged up. You had a bad day at school. You're having girlfriend problems, whatever it might be. But you always have the game. The game's always there. The game doesn't change its mood. You can overcome adversity. Unfortunately, we've had some tough adversity to overcome in Akron lately. But I love the common theme of togetherness and wish y'all the best. Not only luck, but health, because injuries are a part of this game. So work hard to get in the best shape you can for this season and stay healthy and have a lot of fun. I want to thank again the Akron Education Association for hosting us. It was awesome as usual. I'm sure Mr. Bevan from the Beacon Journal will have some questions for you here at the end. Maybe you need some players, Michael, or coaches. Yep, stick around a little bit to talk and answer some questions. I want to thank again Sherry and Ron for their help and Peter from APS 15 for being here, as he always is. You got a lot of these media days under your belt, Peter. There you go. Who's counting? Right. But thanks to everyone for being here. As you leave, please, cookies and fruit. Eat up as much as you can, and good luck this season, especially you seniors in your last year. Thank you.